Hey crypto bros, hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are and you're enjoying the current state of the market. We have a lot to be discussing as it is the end of the closure for the month of May. We're going to go over what June has in store for us overall, and we're going to talk about a little bit of Zen hitting some key things in regards to transactions overall. So you want to stick around till the end of the video. As you can see here from guys, Babb is moving on full force overall in regards to regulation, what's happening there. And we had a great discussion overall on Twitter Spaces, guys. If you haven't followed me there, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, because you can come up, we can start having these conversations whether or not regulation is good for crypto overall. Should we be concerned about regulation or not? So I want to hear directly from you guys. We start to create these spaces on Twitter. We had a great conversation. A lot of people tuned in, about 60 people. And we're going to continue to grow this. So yeah, if you want to come and follow me there, I do also make some trade calls. So it gives you an opportunity to get in some of these trades. Yeah, go from there. So we can see here Babb is moving on full force, guys. They do have their debit card essentially launching, where you can actually spend your crypto in the real world, guys. So you can go and buy a coffee, which is pretty cool. And they have a jam-packed overall developments happening. They're going to be coming out with their mainnet in regards to regulated DeFi, doing it in a safe, efficient manner. And again, we had that discussion in regards to Zen maybe residing on ReDeFi. We never know, guys. It could happen, it cannot happen. But I'm starting the conversation. Let's see what the community thinks about it in regards to it. Now, we know that Zen is first principles, and that we are here, that the founders themselves don't have a pre-allocation. So you're having these two worlds essentially collide and meet, which is pretty cool to see. But it's up to the community whether they want to decide this is going to be happening or not. So we've seen, again, in regards to the strategy that we've been discussing on the 2-day, every time we come to the 55-day moving average, we do see about 49% move overall. And it takes about usually 63 days to complete that particular move overall. Now, based off of this, we are still on track. We did say we were consolidating in this range of around $26,000 to $27,000. And we do have a bit of a, up and down where we're getting some people actually liquidated in this tight range right here. You can see in our previous video, we were discussing, look, if we were to break below this range, it does not mean that we are going to break a lot lower. However, there's a lot of liquidations that can happen, a lot of leverage players in the market that have to be washed out before the big move overall. The more we continue to consolidate in this range, the bigger the move is going to be. Now, whether that's to the downside or upside, it's, again, you have to base it off your strategies and your statistics and look at what's the most probabilistic case that can actually happen here. Now, basing it off of our strategy, we've seen in the past iterations that this has played out 80% of the time to the upside, which is good overall. However, you still have to maintain your risk management tolerance as well too. So you have to know where to put your overall stop loss. We've been discussing it on our videos here. And yeah, so we're going to continue to essentially watch this. We did have a break out of this range, as you can see here. And then we fell back into that same consolidation range we've been in. Now, going into the monthly chart, we did see the month of May close, and we did close below that 21-day moving average on the monthly, which, could be good and bad as well too. However, what we want to see for the month of June is we want to basically break above that 21-day moving average and close above it for bulls to maintain this structure that we've been building overall to the upside. Now, we can see from the previous iterations, usually June has been overall, sideways consolidation in the markets. It just depends on what type of cycle you're actually in. But from the past 3 iterations, we can see that both 3 months of June in the last three years have been very negative overall, being red candles. As you can see, the last one actually, dropped around, let's say, to 45%. The previous one dropped around, we could say, about 33%. So it has been a volatile month overall, but most likely when it closes, it's usually closing in a consolidation state. So this one was around 24% overall. So let's see what the month of June overall holds for us. Is it continuation to continue consolidating in this range before actually breaking to the upside based off our strategy? That's yet to be seen. We have our stop loss set in place. We are taking this particular trade, and I will keep you updated in regards to what's happening here. Now, we've been talking about the Fed rate hike, how it's actually very important overall for the markets. Now, they've had set a tone that they're going to be flatlining June overall, meaning that there might not be, so there's a high probability that there might not be a rate hike. But in case that there is a rate hike, it actually can spell very negative overall for the crypto space. And this is why you always have to keep the risk management play in mind, right? So we always have to put our stop losses, because Bitcoin is driven by, economic affairs. It's still tied to the dollar overall. What happens with rate hikes, debt ceilings can affect Bitcoin overall. Now, the first issue that we actually had resolved was the debt ceiling. We know that's going to go ahead and go through, and they're going to increase the debt ceiling overall. So they're not going to, again, they're not going to default on their debt. But however, we're not out of the woods overall, because the Fed hike, Jerome Powell could come out and he can start raising rates overall to 0.25, and it could spell very negative overall, because the sentiment coming out of the gate in May was that we were going to be flatlining. We're going to step back, look at the market, see how they're reacting to the rate hikes, and then reassess it from there. However, if there is some certainty that the Fed is going to come out with a rate hike, guys, the crypto market is not going to do so well. But if they actually flatline it, then the month of June should be pretty good overall for Bitcoin, because the ball is in the hands of the bulls, guys. The bulls have a chance to actually run at this point and start having a run overall at key resistance lines of $30,000 area. We've been discussing those lines here, guys, over and over again. And if we were to break out of it, again, we're coming to the targets of $38,000, which is what our strategy is noting here, is going to put us around $38,000 to $40,000 in that range, guys. So you can see right here. So the bulls do have a chance if the Fed flatlines the rate hikes. So it'll spell very well overall for the whole crypto space. Now let's go ahead and just quickly move on to Zen. We can see on the 7-day statistics here, we can see that 87,000 unique senders in regards to Zen. So Zen is actually alive. We had this discussion in regards to Twitter, guys. A lot of people are feeling a lot bearish. Look, I understand the chart is not looking too good. However, look, the Zenians, they're continuing to do their thing. You can see transaction count is at all-time high. We can see 172,000 transactions. You're the fourth crypto assets just underneath USDC, Tether, and Wrapped ETH. This is pretty good, guys. This is a very good metric to be under, guys. This is a very, very good metric to be under. We've seen even before Pepe, climb its path all the way, and look, it's at 8th, okay, position 8. So Zen is continuing to hold on. A lot of people have a lot of conviction. However, people are feeling bearish, and this is the conversation we had on Twitter Spaces last time, guys. There's DB's NFTs coming out, okay? DB's NFTs are coming out, so it's gonna burn a lot of that future supply off of the market. And as long as there are good products coming out on Zen, that continues to burn Zen and make Zen more, again, deflationary and more scarce overall, it spells very well for the community. Okay, it spells well for the ecosystem overall. And there's just going to be the supply and demand factor that's going to play into it. Now, we can see that ADXN is having a bit of life. Okay, after having this drawdown, we can see this moving average has been playing heavy resistance overall. People coming in, but this is trying to actually gain some traction. We're going to see some of these chains do very well overall with ADXN. You can see Polygon DXN probably break out as well too. So we just broke above this moving average. We're coming to this particular resistance line right here, which is around the 50 percentile on the Fib retracement. And if we can actually break above this, guys, there's not much resistance for us. So ADXN can actually come alive. It's one of the best looking charts for DXN on a lot of these chains. So DXN looking primed if we can get above this key area of 27 cents, guys. I mean, not much resistance overall for us in that point. So keep an eye on these other chains, because I think they can have a bit of a life. And if you've been minting on there, you've been doing your thing, kudos to you, because you're going to benefit overall being on these other platforms. Paying the gas fee to onboard yourself on these other chains will work, guys. It will take some time. The Zenians are on board overall with Ethereum. What's happening there in transaction totals, we can see on Polygon as well too, doing pretty good. So I'll leave you off with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Consider following me on Twitter. We're going to continue to curate these spaces. I want to hear the conversation from you guys. What you guys think overall in regards to Zen, Babb, regulation, what's happening in the crypto space, the affairs. So definitely join me there. Until next time, bros, as always, stay profitable.